Back in 2026, the Intel Core i5-6600K was the king of the mid-range PC build. But it's 2026 and both games and PC hardware has changed a lot. So today I'm going to be testing the i5-6600K to its absolute maximum potential to see if this thing can still hold up today. Now, as I install this CPU back into this PC, and the keen-eyed among you might realize that this is actually my server PC build, if you went and watched that video. If not, you should go check it out where I actually build this server. But yeah, I wanted to, before actually turning this into a server, I wanted to see how well this i5-6600K could actually perform if I was using this as a gaming PC. Now I'm also using 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM in here. So I did want to go a little bit more than 16 gigabytes, but this is the most amount of RAM I have on hand and also the fastest DDR3 RAM I have on hand, which is coming in at a 1600 megahertz speed. Now, fortunately, I don't think the RAM will be a huge issue in this case. Obviously, we'll find out in the benchmarks later, because most of the bottleneck here, bottlenecking the CPU is the goal, is going to come down to the GPU. And the GPU of choice is none other than the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. This has 8 gigabytes of VRAM, and it'll be easily handle all of the games I throw at it at 1080p, which is probably the resolution I'm going to be mostly benchmarking in. So this will create a nice bottleneck and should keep our CPU sitting at that 100% usage mark. Took a surprising amount of figuring to find a GPU actually because of this hard drive cage here. This case can't actually fit a very large GPU. I feel like this Founders Edition RTX 3070 is definitely a little bit more normal sized, but if you wanted to fit something like a 4090 or a 5090 in here, that might be a little bit more of a challenge. So starting the benchmarks off with some synthetic benchmarks, I'm running Cinebench here, and on our multi-core test, this 6600K got a score of 918, which honestly really sucks. But what can you really expect from this old CPU? And then our single core got a score of 230. So things aren't looking great, and I'm low-key kind of concerned how this gaming performance is going to go. Now finally jumping into some actual gameplay, I'm running CS2 at 1920 by 1080p resolution on the lowest settings to give this RTX 3070 basically an absolute walk in the park. And that is exactly what's happening here. We've got a CPU usage of around 90%. It's definitely mid to upper 80s to low 90s. And our GPU is sitting around 40 to 45%, dipping down into the 30% range, which is a perfect bottleneck. And with the CPU fully bottlenecked like that, CS2 here gets an average of 160 FPS, which for a CPU heavy game is not too bad for an older 4-core, 4-thread CPU. Now, I did jump into some Starfield here, and I'm playing this at 1280 by 720p at the lowest settings because while this is more still a pretty CPU-intensive game, it is also pretty GPU-intensive, so we're probably going to have less of a difference between our GPU utilization and our CPU utilization. But still, the GPU is sitting quite comfortably at around 50 to 60% usage depending on the scene we're looking at, and my CPU is pegged at 100% usage in this little cave scene here. This is the very beginning of the game. So still definitely getting some good CPU usage here. And with this little Intel stock cooler, we're only hitting about 60 degrees Celsius, which is also pretty impressive. But yeah, this game did average around 100 FPS, which is honestly pretty solid. Again, this is an old 4-core, 4-thread i5-6600K playing Starfield at 100 FPS, which is really impressive. And finally, jumping into the holy grail of benchmarks, I'm getting into some Cyberpunk here, once again at 1280 by 720p, lowest settings to give our GPU the easiest life possible, and our CPU is absolutely hating this already. Once again, this RTX 3070 is having no problem running Cyberpunk at low settings at 720p, running at about 40% usage, and our CPU absolutely maxed out at 100% usage. Now, I gotta be honest, this thing had me a little bit worried in the beginning there with the Cinebench test because it was not doing so well, but it actually pulled ahead in the gaming test, which I was really, really impressed by. This old 4-core, 4-thread CPU, I think, paired with the more balanced GPU, obviously, something more in its league, could make a solid budget gaming PC build if you wanted to go this route. It can definitely still hold its own. It can definitely still play modern games. Obviously, you're not going to get the most insane FPS out of it, or the most insane performance, but it'll handle it no problem, and that's pretty impressive for this old CPU. Now, this does give me some confidence having this CPU inside of my server PC build, because if it can handle things like Cyberpunk and Starfield, it can probably handle, transferring files over the network. So I think this was a great little budget CPU to install in my server. Obviously, we'll find that out in a future video. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or feedback, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.